About a month ago, I made a video about atheism. This YouTube thing is new to me, so I'm just plugging along, learning, focused on my next video. All of a sudden, that video started getting comments. The video was pretty much dead with a few views a day, so I thought it's strange so many people started commenting on it a month later. I had 22 comments when it was initially published, but now it's gotten over 200 comments. Not only that, but every single one of them was from an atheist showing me love. There's a feature on YouTube to hold comments for review if they include cuss words or are generally mean to you or your audience. You would not believe the anger some of these people have against God and consequently now me. Things they plan to do to my wife, how many cuss words they could fit into a single sentence, the threats and the vitriol. Not all atheists are like this, but goodness, I must have come close to stealing the precious. Where did these people come from? Then I found this. I was excited that someone took the time to look at my channel, the content that I'm creating, and even offer critiques. This is a new channel. I don't have many subscribers and I'm trying to figure out the whole YouTube environment. So thank you, Prophet of Zod. I'm glad that my little video garnered your attention enough for you to put time into critiquing it. I mean, bashing it or whatever it is you do on your channel. His response to my video was the first time he showed his face in the 7 years he's been publishing videos. It might be the second time, I'm not quite sure. Up to now, you just see this. So he asked his audience for their input on his new format. I checked out his channel and like the static, faceless character. It's different, it's ominous, but seeing his face is better. We get to see his emotions, his expressions, and his eyes. He's a handsome dude with a full head of hair. He shouldn't hide it. I don't think it was his looks that made him hide behind Static Man.
Why you wearing a mask? Were you burned by acid or something like that?
It's the scripts and the editing. Believe me, I get it. But it looks like he's got a decent handle on camera presence. He just needs to up his editing, his sound effects, his music, and his meme game.
Well, he insists on an old definition of an evolving word, but at least he also doesn't keep his memes fresh, right? And yeah, also, you're gonna notice this guy uses way too many sound effects, way too many graphics, and way too many little video clips to cut in.
Yeah, well, his beard is short.
Okay, look, I'm 48 years old and I have kids who are always telling me how old every meme is that I show them. And even I can viscerally feel how just ancient and crusty these clips are.
Concerning his critique of my old meme game, sound effects, graphics, video clips, that's just like your opinion, man. This coming from a guy whose channel is called the Prophet of Zod. I'm assuming it's from Superman, right? I love Superman. The story of a baby with heavenly origins raised by humans, royal blood, righted the wrongs of humanity, miracle worker, saved the world. But by his own standard of old and crusty, is Superman always relevant? Like Jesus? Zod truthers, if it's a reference to something new and hip, you gotta fill me in on that.
Now, I am extremely uninterested in questions like these about the definition of atheism.
Now let's get into this lack of care for definitions by reacting to his 40-minute video about definitions. Definitions are crucial in philosophical discourse. How atheism is defined as a lack of belief versus an act of disbelief impacts the nature of the discussion and the burden of proof. The thumbnail for his video actually says, "Who cares?" Then he spends time caring. Clarifying definitions isn't just semantic nitpicking, it's foundational for clear communication and understanding. We define terms so we have common ground to communicate from.
However, what I am interested in is when Christians weaponize this question in order to demand that we account for our belief in ways that are just really kind of silly.
Weaponize is a cool word. You weaponized that question, now I must retaliate. I'm not demanding atheists account for their belief in ways that are silly. I'm just asking them to account for their beliefs, period.
So today I'm going to deal with a video by this guy who I should be putting on screen right now. Now, I generally haven't liked giving exposure to small apologist channels like this.
Punching below his weight class. I see how it is.
I don't like using my platform to elevate them. But what I found is my interactions never translate into long-term interest in the channel. It's not going to get any traction because of me. So this guy can go ahead and enjoy his week or two of negative attention and then move on to general irrelevance, I guess.
That hurts. You're probably right, but it still kind of hurts.
That said, here we go.
Throughout history, humanity has grappled with profound questions about existence, meaning, and the divine.
Well, I guess at least two of those questions are profound. Want to guess which ones? Questions about existence and meaning are just going to naturally confront you because you are alive. Like, it's just something you are going to think about if you're a thoughtful person. But questions about God, they only confront you if somebody who made up an idea about God comes to you and confronts you with them.
Hold up. All I said was, throughout history, humanity has grappled with profound questions about existence, meaning, and the divine. That is true. From philosophy to religion, every society wrestled with questions about the divine. Whether we take the emotional or intellectual definition of the word profound, questions about the divine are part and parcel of answering life's big questions. No one has to confront us with questions about God. He's talking about theists like they've got this social contagion, and you'll get it if you let them get near you. Dang it, you made me think about the divine again.
So, two of them are things I think you should just think about if you're a thoughtful person. If you don't think a lot about the third, probably just means you make judicious use of your time, and can't really blame you for that.
He can't see the forest for the trees, man. This guy has over 300 videos about God's existence. He has devoted quite a bit of time considering profound questions about the divine. Then turns around and says it's not worth our time? By his own standard, he's not making judicious use of his time. I digress.
Now, I don't think we're going to have to stick around to the end to find out what he thinks atheists are getting at, because I think we know already. I think he's going to say that we're trying to dodge some burden of proof that we have to prove that his supernatural being that he proposes does not exist. But I guess let's just see in case I'm wrong, huh?
He's right. But it isn't just about proving God doesn't exist. It's proving what does, which has to do with what I referred to as the furniture of reality. Both the theist and the atheist must offer answers to these questions. They both have the burden of proof to account for the furniture of reality.
So furniture of reality, huh? All right. When I read that in YouTube's transcript, I actually originally thought that they messed up and he was saying something else, but no, he actually said furniture of reality, so cool. I guess that's fine.
Without rehashing my original video, I'll cut to the chase. I think Zod is missing furniture. What do I mean? If atheism is a worldview, it would include the features that flesh out one's perspective on existence. Does atheism answer life's biggest questions and seek to explain reality? Or is it merely a proposition on one specific topic, God's existence? I know there are people in both camps and atheists who are a conglomerate, but if one holds to atheism, it forces certain answers to big questions. And unfortunately for non-believers, those answers must provide more than I don't know or I don't think we can know. Even those skeptical responses would require justification. A worldview is glasses through which we see the world. It involves how human beings derive their meaning, their purpose, their significance. People behave as they believe. Their worldview guides their thoughts, their attitudes, their values, their interpretations of reality, their perspectives, their decisions, and their actions. Most worldviews attempt to answer these fundamental questions. What is ultimate reality? God, gods, or no gods? What is external reality? Is there something beyond the cosmos? What can be known and how do we come to know it? That would be epistemology. What is truth? Where did we come from? That would be origin. Who am I? Where am I? And how should I live? What should I value? What is humanity's greatest problem and how can it be solved? What is the meaning and direction of history, if any? This is what I mean by the furniture of reality. And I think most people try to fill in the gaps as they walk through life. As he's probably heard, an unexamined life is not worth living. If his answer to the profound questions of life is that atheism is solely related to one proposition that God does not exist, then how does he fill his apartment with the necessary pieces of furniture? How does he account for the worldview questions? Even if the atheist sidesteps proving God does not exist and merely lacks a belief, they still, on some level, have explanations for the way things are. Theism explains these things, and it's not an I don't know, so let's punt to God. It's these are the features of reality, what best explains them. If atheists stay clear of worldview issues, they don't have to take on the burden of proof with regards to the big questions, but they also don't get a seat at the table to tell us whose story should be told, whose morals should be enforced, whose ideology should be believed. In this vein, atheism becomes an ideology about ideologies which denies being an ideology. He cut off the end of my video where I shared a couple of my favorite books on atheism by atheists to help the atheists flesh out their worldview. Exhaust the best arguments on both sides. If you're an atheist and you want to level up your game, I encourage you to look into the atheistic works of J.L. Mackie's book, The Miracle of Theism, and Michael Martin's book, Atheism, A Philosophical Justification. If you're a theist, may I suggest those books to familiarize yourself with the argument, as well as Swinburne's book, The Existence of God. I'd also bone up on Graham Oppy, who William Lane Craig said was wicked smart among his atheist opponents, as well as Paul Draper. These 4 authors will help you buy furniture to fill your worldview. It'll be made of cardboard, but at least you'll have something. Prophet of Zod, if you ever watch this video, thank you for your engagement. I learned some things and doubled down on others. God bless you in spite of yourself and in spite of me. Have a Merry Christmas.